All right, ladies and gentlemen, what is happening? We are going live right now, so I hope you guys are all having a wonderful day wherever you guys are at in the world. Let's just let this room fill up a little bit. So, drop me a message in the chat if you guys are bullish or bearish right now on the crypto markets, because it is getting buck wild out there for the most part right now. So let's just take a quick peek at Bitcoin. Yeah, thanks, Airborne. I appreciate that. Um, we are trying to spice things up. It looks like the stream chat is working as well. Really, folks, we are just looking at Bitcoin and this crazy series of impulse waves to the upside. Right now, on the 1 hour chart, you can see how Bitcoin has kind of fell off this edge pretty sharply. So, with that said, there's one thing that I'm kind of seeing right now, and the neckline isn't. It's not the greatest in the world, but you could almost make the argument. There might be something here. This could be some sort of head and shoulders pattern that is going to break us back down. Let's just go ahead here. I want to throw on one of my favorite indicators here, and it is the Bitcoin Investor Tool. So let's just check out Bitcoin on the daily chart and just try to figure out where exactly we're at with things. Basically what the Bitcoin Investor Tool is, it's a series of two lines here. And this is just 730-day moving average. This line up here is just 10x from this line here. And you can kind of see just in past history how price action, whenever we've been underneath this 730-day moving average, we've done some pretty cool stuff, right? With that said, this has been a great time for accumulation. Back 2014, 2015, we've also got this 2018, 2019-ish area in here as well. The coronavirus dip, of course. This little dip here before the virus. Speaking of coronavirus, I am feeling a lot better right now. My lungs are a little weird, but as far as the fevers and stuff like that, man, I am doing good. So we got Crypto Airborne in the chat saying BTC broke the heart line in that channel. Wouldn't be surprised to see Bitcoin go to 21.5. Oh yeah, I get you. I was bullish, but now with all this China thing going on, yeah, it's something to be concerned about, especially with the leaders of today. They are old and decrepit, and the leaders just suck. Our leaders worldwide just suck. 100%. But the current environment for Bitcoin, we are underneath this 730-day moving average. So, it is one of those things. Let's just throw up a little Fibonacci retracement. Let's just say if price breaks back down. Before we were hearing all this talk, $10,000 Bitcoin, blah, blah, blah. Well, you guys haven't heard much of that lately, have you? So there's a few things that could be going on right now. Number one, when I see a setup like this, I am still pretty bullish on Bitcoin, even though we've had 4 days of spinning tops to the downside. Whenever I'm seeing this conversion line, which is this red line right here, trading parallel with this baseline, which is this blue line, we are sitting pretty. And when all of this stuff is above the 50 moving average, barreling up towards the 200 moving average, which is this yellow line. This is where, folks, I get super excited as a trader. We may have just pointed out somewhat of a possible head and shoulders, but when we look at the bigger picture here, what's going on? Are we going to see a bigger inverse head and shoulders play out? I don't know. You guys tell me. But it wouldn't surprise me at all if we saw this price come back down and test this 50 moving average at about 21.5, like someone in the chat was just saying. We got T Top Crypto. It's kind of hard for me to see here. Hard for me to read the names. Yeah, there seems to be a real possibility of World War III, but hopefully cooler heads prevail and we'll all get incredibly wealthy this next bull run. MACD about to cross in the positive green momentum territory as well on the Bitcoin weekly. That's awesome. Yeah, so, you know, this 21, I'm going to go 21.2, somewhere in there. Maybe even 27.50. Maybe a spot for Bitcoin to be headed to if it does. You know, on this daily chart, we are seeing a very nice attempt to break through this Ichimoku cloud. Will we get another retracement and pump upwards? It's certainly possible. I would just want Bitcoin at this point in time to kind of bounce above this Ichimoku cloud and stay above the Ichimoku cloud. So with that said, let's move on. Let's move on to other things. If things get really bad, 18,200 is where I'd be looking for like a double bottom, maybe 17.6, somewhere in that neighborhood. But I need to see Bitcoin break 29,000 in the meantime, folks. Let's go ahead. If you have any cryptos, drop them in the stream chat and we will get at it. Let me know what you guys think about this whole new look we got going on the channel as well. Bitcoin dominance, folks, it's really kind of broken this little wedge here. Bitcoin dominance, it appears, is forming what is also known as a falling wedge. We know this because we can see all of these little patterns happening with Bitcoin. Let's see, curious, how do you feel about the Cronos blockchain overall? You know, I don't know much about it, to be honest with you. I couldn't give you a solid opinion or judgment on it. But we'll look at Cronos in just a second here. But we can see that Bitcoin dominance is about ready to just spring up. These candles are just too far away from this Ichimoku cloud. We've almost got a death cross, which is when you see the candles strike down through the 50 moving average and the 200, and then pull this 50 down to cross the 200. That's the icing on the cake. And in a lot of instances, when we see these 2 points actually cross, so I'm going to say within the next day or two, we could get some bullish momentum on that as well. So let's see what we got here. H bar. Let's look at Cronos, and then we'll look at H bar. You know, I mean, man, Crypto.com is just, I like Crypto.com, folks. I really do. I use it to purchase my own crypto. Let's just take a look at this on the weekly. This is where I will buy up CKB. This is where I will buy up some of those other coins as well. Right now, it's looking fairly decent, in my opinion. price action is well under the 730-day moving average. You can kind of see in past instances when it was hovering around these levels, it rebounded quite nicely. Of course, you know, history doesn't always repeat itself every time, but I'm hoping that Crypto.com, you know, it's a great platform to say the least. And really, I'm seeing this price action. It's too far away from the Ichimoku cloud, in my opinion. Whenever we start to see some of these prices get too far from these Ichimoku clouds and things like that, folks, the cloud will tend to reel the price back in. So I am bullish on this. I'd like to see this come up and retest the 22-cent level, and I'd like to see this retest this 33-cent level. Let's just throw up a little fib here. And interestingly enough, you know, if price pushed up here, we would see this 50 moving average kind of probably come up here, and you'd get this 35-cent ish level, which would be the 23.6 Fibonacci extension level. If you're new and you're just joining us, drop a comment in the stream chat. We'll check out your crypto. But, you know, I think that things are looking decent for Crypto.com. It's got 3 weeks of positive momentum after this big slash here. And really, if things do fall out, I mean, you could see this thing head back down to the 11-10 cent area. No problem. Let's move on to H-bar, because someone was talking about H-bar. What's up, Bitcoin Renegade? Stopping in for a... Yeah. Nice. I appreciate you being here, man. Appreciate it. Yeah, this setup is $19 a month, man. Not going to complain about that. When you compare it to a lot of these other platforms like StreamYard, stuff like that. So here is H-bar. You can see we've been working this chart before. It's been a while since I visited the H-bar chart, but it looks an awful lot like the Crypto.com or the Kronos chart. It just does. You know, so let's go ahead and throw up some Fibonacci all-time. I'd like to see H-bar come on up to this 14.5 cent-ish level. If it does better than that, look for that 23 cent level or this 50 moving average. This is in a very similar position that you know, Crypto.com is. Price action way too far, way too far away from this Ichimoku cloud. And let's just go ahead and throw up a Fibonacci channel here as well. Why not? There we go. We'll just push that right up there. Just push that right like that. And so you can see right now that price action, you know, once it gets up to these possible levels, you know, somewhere in here, this 23 cent-ish level, I mean, we're going to be facing a, you know, halfway decently, you know, sized Ichimoku cloud with H-bar. So I do think it's due for a significant bounce here, though. Just the relationship between price action and this cloud is just, you know, like it's like Crypto.com. It's just too far away. Let's go ahead here and throw up a little retracement to try to figure out, okay, this thing has been cooked. Okay. So really, I'd like to see this thing come back up and retest the 786 for an all-time, you know, checkup here. That is definitely a must. This 13 cent level, because right now it's technically in price discovery mode to the downside. That much is for certain. I would hate to see this thing drop anymore, but it is what it is. Let's move on to the next request. Go ahead and drop it in the comments. I appreciate that, Crypto Airborne. Yeah, the crypto markets have been just terrible, as we all know, and really the viewership and everything like that has gone along with it. So we got Cardano. Let me know in the comments section if you are holding Cardano. Let me know what you like about it, man. Elron, I guess we can do Elron. And so right now we've got this. This is an interesting play with Cardano right now. Because we got this little wedge pattern here, and this thing broke. The price action broke out of it. So, this little descending triangle has really provided Cardano with a nice little bump. Here's the only problem that I'm not liking right now is that Cardano and we'll do ICP in just a second as well. Cardano really, man, it almost made it through this Ichimoku cloud on the daily, folks. That would have been so sweet. But it's coming back down to retest this 50 moving average at or around 47 cents on the daily. So we've got the conversion line, which is still trending upwards, trading parallel somewhat with this blue baseline. And like I've been saying, folks, this is one of my most favorite positions to see these crypto assets trading in. When we get a setup just like this, I want to see this crypto jump and come and test this 200 moving average, wherever that is. So right now, let's just look at Cardano on the 1 hour chart, and then we will move on. Right now, man, you can see that there was just this clear corrective wave to the downside. I mean, it is what it is. You could also make the argument here that there very well could be a, somewhat, the neckline isn't quite there. I would like to see this shoulder or armpit right here to see some sort of inverse head and shoulders. But there certainly could be something on a grander scale that could be happening here with ADA Cardano. We have not done ICP yet, but we will do that. Let's check out eGold. We'll do ICP after that, and we will do Mad Meerkat Finance, MMF. Okay, if we can find it here, let's just see if it's on here. Yeah. To the person talking about Mad Meerkat Finance, let me know what exchange you can buy that on. Let's check out eGold. Let's go. Here we go. This is what I'm talking about. This is what I like to see. The last time I was working the eGold chart, folks, I was making this speculation, and it's been a couple of weeks since I last talked about eGold, probably back in July. And it was definitely before July 15th, because that's when I went on vacation, stuff like that. So I was speculating right here that we might see some sort of ascending triangle form with eGold. And that's what appears to be happening. So this is definitely one of those things that I am kind of bullish about. When I start to see patterns, happen like this, this is great. And we do have a Fibonacci time sequence somewhere around August 21st, which could be significant. We could see price action stop. We could see it reverse. We could see it just do something crazy. Fibonacci time sequence. I better go ahead here and readjust this Fibonacci time sequence here. So bear with me. We are going to disregard that last August 21st date. And we'll just pull this up. Let's see what's going on here. I'm just looking at this back in hindsight. It damn near predicted. It damn near predicted the top here. It predicted a very nice drop off here. And it looks like September 19th, September 18th, folks. Pay attention to the markets. Within a few days, we might see something crazy happen. So eGold, you know what? This could splinter into some sort of symmetrical triangle right now. So, I mean, we could see something like this happen. And if we see a symmetrical triangle like this form out of some sort of possible ascending triangle, I'm going to be a little bit bearish. But if we can get, this push up to $63 and maybe fill out this ascending triangle a little bit more, I will be a little bit more bullish on eGold, folks, because it is what it is. We have not done Litecoin, but we'll do that one here after ICP. Right. So let's just look at eGold at a super high level 4-hour chart. And really, you can just kind of see how this thing is kind of working. Symmetrical triangle. If we can break this, I would say eGold's headed for 63. If this thing falls, testing 1, 2, 3. Okay, we're back up and running. See here. Stream is delayed. It will pick up here in just a second. This stream is delayed about a minute and a half from the time that you're seeing it. So bear with me 1 second here. And I got Crypto Airborne telling me that my sound is out, texting me, so thank you. I'm just going to go to my YouTube page to see what's happening. Okay, perfect. Thanks, guys. I appreciate you guys hanging in there with me. We got the sound back. So right now, ICP, it's been in this interesting run to the upside. We are in this great position. We've got this conversion line and the baseline running parallel with each other. So this is great. I would like to see this little conversion line start arcing upwards, and I would love to see ICP come up and test this 50 moving average, which is the purple line here. And really, I do think that it could be possible for ICP to kind of bend this 50 moving average just like this. Run it right up to about $24, somewhere in that neck of the woods. The thing with ICP is we've got a fairly thin Ichimoku cloud here to really pass through. So I'm hoping that ICP does that, because that would mean price action is above about $46. But if the bear markets, continue on and really decide that, hey, we're just going to go ahead and ruin everybody's party, I think it would be fair to say, we may end up seeing these lower price levels again. There's one thing that I just kind of noticed here, though, and really we could be witnessing the formation of an ascending triangle or something like that. So it's going to be interesting to see how price action plays out here. Maybe we'll see another kind of dip like this, and maybe we will just see price action on ICP kind of pull like one of these things, kind of like what we were just seeing with eGold. So, it is what it is. This is kind of what I'm going to be keeping my eyes out for. Certainly, this would be one hell of a setup for a good old cup and handle to form as well. So that's kind of what I'm looking for at that moment. And usually cup and handles, ascending triangles, they kind of go hand in hand because a lot of times you'll see these cup and handle formations within ascending triangles, things like that. Definitely in inverse head and shoulders on the weekly, yes. And I agree with that 100%. This is, this is what it is. So I am hoping that we get some sort of inverse head and shoulders, move up to these levels here and then blast off. It's probably not going to happen until 2023, somewhere in that neighborhood where ICP could possibly go parabolic. I wouldn't consider ICP at $50, from these levels at a parabolic level. I'm certainly not going to be dissatisfied with it whatsoever. When we're looking at this weekly chart, folks, this is one of these things where TradingView is being a little deceiving with price tags. And the reason I measured this extension from this point over here is because this is an actual confirmed rejection point. And this is an actual confirmed bottom here. I don't think the price of ICP ever reached, $3,100. So it just is what it is. I think it was more along the lines of like 700 to 780 through the research that I've done. So yeah, this could be an alleyway for ICP, especially if the market starts recovering. They've got some crazy kick-ass things going on within the ecosystem. They are about to integrate Bitcoin into ICP, Internet Computer. This is awesome because people can now run Bitcoin and ICP through tumblers and things like that. They can control Bitcoin on the Bitcoin network from the Internet Computer Network without a bridge. So that is insane. We always hear about these hacks happening to these bridges and stuff like that. So it's definitely one of those things. Let's see here. Let me know in the comments section if you had any other crypto that you want me to take a peek at. ETA September. Okay, for the Bitcoin integration. That is going to be a game changer. We're talking smart contracts on Bitcoin. Like, that's insane. People will be able to use dApps like Spinner to really, tumble their Bitcoin for privacy, things like that. Imagine buying an ICP NFT with Bitcoin on chain. Man, that's going to be sweet. Spell token? Let's do it. Let's look at Spell. So let's look at this. Not sure why it's not showing, but MMF is on CDC. Interesting. Yeah, we'll try to find it. So Spell, it's been a while since I've looked at Spell. Last time we were looking at Spell, you can see it was probably somewhere early this year. And we were looking for this 127 retracement area for Spell. Looks like it came down to it, and then the bottom dropped off again. So let's get rid of all this. I want to take a quick peek at Spell on the weekly. Let me know, Spell, what is this like a ERC20 token, or is this, what network is this thing on? All right, so we do have a very textbook corrective wave here, and it almost appears that there could be some sort of symmetrical triangle that is forming right now, and we can kind of see this. We're seeing these lows getting higher, but the highs just are having a little bit of a tough time trying to gear up. This is great to see, though. What I'm looking at right now with Spell, if we just kind of do this, bingo. So you can see that this is a symmetrical triangle squeeze. And this is the daily chart. One thing I love to see is that when coins are above the Ichimoku cloud on the daily chart, folks. This is great. I like to see these candles opening and closing above the Ichimoku cloud on the daily. This is wonderful. Let's just look and see if we got a 200 moving average. We do. So this has me a little bullish on Spell. Spell is an ETH token. Okay. I don't know why I thought that, but I thought it was. I mean, really, when it comes down to it, if Spell starts taking off, which it might, you could look for this 0.001-ish area, 0.00152, 0.0017-ish up by this 161.8. So I'd be looking for this 200 moving average to kind of come down like this. So I'm hoping that we see price come up and at least test this 200 moving average somewhere in here. It could certainly go higher, 0.002. So, I mean, it could be in for a little 2x here. It just depends. Let's look at this thing on like a 4-hour chart just to see if there's anything floating around here. You know, there could be some sort of ascending triangle forming here as well on a super low level. So it's just going to, we're just going to have to wait. So, you could see something like this to form. But right now, I'd look for Spell to trade anywhere between this 0.00105 and this 0.0011. Let's move on to the next one. You guys got any recommendations? Drop them in the chat. I will probably be wrapping this little live up here. The next two tokens, get to check it out. We'll check it out, and then we'll wrap things up, I think. So what do you guys got for me? Oh, I just had to take a sip of that stuff, man. My voice and my lungs and stuff. Tell you what, this coronavirus shit's nasty shit, man. So hopefully you guys don't get it, or you've recovered if you got it. But, man, GRT? Is that the graph? GRT? All right, we'll do Filecoin and GRT here. Maybe I'm thinking of something else. So GRT, okay. So let's just look at this on the weekly. Okay, so GRT, man, this thing has really taken quite the pounding here. This is almost like a big corrective wave as well. You can see how last time I looked at this, we were hoping that there was going to be some sort of ascending triangle here. And then, of course, the market blew up last November. So it is what it is there. Price action, in my opinion, on the weekly is too far from this Ichimoku cloud. Let's go ahead and I'm going to delete all this stuff off the charts. Let's just go ahead here and throw up a Fibonacci retracement and see if there's any spots that we can pay attention to. Man, oh man, oh man. GRT. It's one of these things. It's in price discovery mode to the downside. So it is what it is. I don't know anything about the project myself. It does look like the RSI is trying to climb out of the dumps. And here's an interesting pattern. And you can find these patterns, folks, in all sorts of different places. When we're looking for patterns to give us clues at what the market's going to do, we'll see it in indicators, we'll see it in candlesticks, things like that. But right now, we're seeing this falling wedge, which is a fairly bullish pattern to be seen. So we might see some increased buying power with GRT here in the near future. We are on the weekly chart right now. Price action, in my opinion, is too far away from this Ichimoku cloud. So if we do get a bounce, hopefully it would be up to maybe around this 50 moving average. And if we saw prices pump, you might see this 50 moving average drift down here, or you might see it reverse and kind of do one of these things. So it needs to get past 38 cents. That's the bottom line. Looks like there's a little bit of a symmetrical triangle squeeze forming here. So I'm hoping that GRT takes off and starts heading north. So if you get past 38 cents, great. If you get up to 56 cents, great. Let me know. Let me know and get a hold of me on Twitter, and we'll revisit this. But I would hope that this doesn't trade any further downward. Let's look at Filecoin. Here is Filecoin. I am a sucker for cryptocurrencies that store data and stuff like that. Really, stuff like Filecoin, CKB, where you get some of those, like CKB, for example. Each CKB is equal to 1 byte of data. So here, the last time we were looking at Filecoin, I don't know when it was, but you can kind of see it was probably sometime back in November. We had this little descending triangle that had formed, and we were looking for a little bounce up to this 50 moving average. That never happened because it was last November, last December, and the markets crashed. You can see this little pitchfork that I put up. And this was put up back in November, I presume, of 2021. And you can see how nicely price action actually played along with this pitchfork that I put up so long ago. So that's very interesting. I always love revisiting these old charts and finding this sort of stuff because I projected this downward turn, long ago. Let's look at this thing on the daily chart, though. Okay, so this thing is banging. Holy cow. Really, you can see that right now we are looking at some really nice price action on the daily chart. Even though I threw up this channel almost 8-9 months ago, you can see how well price action is still respecting this channel. So on the daily chart, we are seeing price just go to incredible levels here. And it came up and respected this line right here. That is so cool to me. And then it came right back down. And now we are forming a symmetrical triangle on top of this channel here. So this is what would be called a bull pennant. Whenever you see, we got a nice flagpole here. And then we've got a little pennant style formation. So if this thing breaks low, breaks down, falls, below I don't know, maybe the $7.90, or even if it falls lower than $7, what we don't want to see is for price action to fall back into the Ichimoku cloud. So if that happens, we could be having a problem, but I would say that price action could be likely to come back up and maybe test this $10.82 level again. So that would be nice to see with Filecoin. Really, if this thing comes crashing down, expect that $7.26 ish level. But right now it's holding on to this 50% retracement level. If this thing does come down lower than like $6.50 ish, $7, it could be heading down towards the 786, which is around $6.17. So really, folks, that is, it is what it is, and it's just one of these things, folks, where these markets are really shaky right now. There's a lot of turbulence going on in the world. We've got all this conflict amongst all these countries, and it just sucks. It just does. So there's not a whole lot we can do about it, but really just try to find the right time to invest in our cryptocurrencies and things like that. Let me know in the chat and in the comments section if you guys want me to start making videos on how to use, how to use some of these little indicators and tools like this one. Like I said, I drew this little channel 8 months ago, and it's just, it's fascinating to me. So if people want to learn about some of this stuff in TradingView, I'd be more than happy to try to make some sort of videos or videos, for that. So it is what it is, folks. Check out the end screens at the end of this video, and you'll see some other videos I've done, past dApps and ecosystems, things like that. I hope you guys all have a wonderful day, folks. Get outside, get some fresh air, and we'll see you guys on the video tomorrow. I'll be doing some more videos tomorrow.